Okay. Hello and welcome to the Martian Interface tournament. We are at the round 3 of the game. We have 1v1 game between Malonto and Lich Shadow. This is an interesting game where they can only choose still users. So we are going to see slow plays in the early game. What do you think about this map?
Yeah, well, that's... okay, I'm looking specifically at the founts. I'm concerned about Molontel here, that the Silicon situation is so far away from him. Luckily, Silicon won't be important, right? Because you won't really need Silicon. So yeah, I think this might work out well for Molontel here.
Yeah, not only that glass price is cheap, Lich Shadow started with a glass kiln, which is interesting because there's not much money to be made in there. I think I would have preferred to see a single aluminum mine in this high in middle of the colony.
Yeah, I would have liked to see aluminum out of the players. Let's Shadow's play is kind of cute in that this glass is completely free, being on dry ice and silicon. But yeah, definitely power aluminum started double, right? Or is this like a 1 versus 1 works?
Yeah, this is excellent glass kiln, except the glass is not making money.
No, was aluminum double or not?
Aluminum, I think, started. Let's check it out. Aluminum has started double.
Oh, yeah. Then I definitely think people should have grabbed that HQ1.
Yeah.
Neither player did.
Oh, they.
And now it's a bit awkward. So Monotel goes to double aluminum to try to compensate.
Well,
Lentil for a single. Lich Shadow for a single. Is this one to use a mule? I'm not actually sure. So I don't play a lot of 1 versus 1s. I'll have to rely on your expertise here.
Well, given the price of aluminum, committing 2 into this might work out because they can upgrade faster, and upgrading faster means they get to these good markets faster, and especially power. Yeah. Power has been rising with the 2 still users on the board. However, this...
I really like Chems, and Lich Shadow are going into it already.
Yeah, this will end up as that claim in the end. Maybe it can be used as a solar condensers, but I don't like it.
Okay.
It's so little production of carbon from there. But it's usable. I think it's fine. It's a good play.
So what makes this some of the best chem refineries I've ever seen on HQ2 is fuel started half, chem started double, and it's a chem colony. And of course the scientist on dry ice will get the carbon part for free.
Yeah.
So paying very, very little for the inputs and getting really good money for HQ2.
120 for per tile is very solid. Problem is Lich Shadow does not have fuel production up, so they will have to upgrade fast, secure the steel and carbon for the fuel production, and make it. But that is also the best timing for power. So Lich Shadow might just end up scrapping chem if the chem money has died, make something else like food, and just going for power. We might see those transitions happening in HQ3 as well.
Yeah. He did get the auction for 32k for a geothermal borehole. Geothermal vent, and he's already building it, which I quite like.
Yeah. Malonto's HQ3 building choices were double condensers and double farm, double steel, and a geo. I think I might have preferred to see more commitment into power when Lich Shadow could not get into it, when Malonto did not have much debt, so that they get the advantage of this power price, and Lich Shadow will stay slow in that.
That's a good point. My thought would be to go into reactors. That way I can buy into fuel without losing all my investment to debt. Is that a bad thought, or what do you think about that thought? Would that be a good strategy?
I do like the idea, but Malonto does not have much money to spare. into those price manipulations.
There's the aluminum money and steel money. Yeah, not much chance.
Yeah.
Well, I must say, going food and solar kinesis was a really poor choice in hindsight, because there's a dust storm. I'm sorry, Molantal.
Yeah, half production for both of these buildings.
Yeah.
They're making so little.
So he scraps them and goes electronics instead. Yeah, I would much prefer reactors, right?
Reactor would have been much better. Yes.
Yeah. So the reason I think that is the only reason electronics looks okay is there was a natural shortage. The consumption from the colony is very low. The only reason one of these two players would use it is to build advanced buildings. So it's not going to stay very high, and the production of it is very low, being that electronics factories only produce a quarter of an electronics each.
Currently?
So don't like that choice.
Currently, Lee Shadow has gone into those remote productions, making fuel and oxygen remotely, and also has a lot of remote tiles like geothermal plant and pattern apps. So this is one thing Melantel can exploit. Melantel can blow up freighters that Lee Shadow is shipping, but Lee Shadow, knowing the weakness, builds a pattern app and goons it and secures teleportation. It's going to be very safe after that. So if Melantel has been looking at those buildings, what he could have done was blowing up this teleportation like pattern app's construction vehicle, but that's that might be difficult. And Lee Shadow can always build it in the colony, in the HQ.
So I want to explain to Lit Shadow, or to all our viewers, yes, hopefully Lit Shadow watches it, a very, very important concept. When you're making remote production, like he is with these reactors, and there is magnetic storms on the market, you never let them fully ship or fully finish producing fully at the same time, because then they will ship a full load simultaneously, which means a single magnetic storm would have blown up 80 fuel. They don't ship at the same time, so just 80 fuel, which is so much, and your opponent gets 2 uses out of that. So if you still don't fix this issue, he will get 160 fuel killed from you for 3k. And the way to counter this is check the production, and when you have 2 of them, when one of them is half full, you ship it manually, holding Alt and clicking it. If you have 3 of them, when one of them is a third full, you hold Alt and click on it. That way you will stagger your shipments in a way that only one of them can be hit by magnetic storm, greatly reducing the efficacy of the magnetic storm. This is really, really important. Of course, now you're teleportation, now you don't care. This is a really nice teleportation game. Look at the farm money, wow.
On the other hand, if Pirate is on the market, which is so there are different ways of dealing with Pirate and magnetic storm. So when a Pirate comes down to this high value remote production, what they can do is launch everything at the same time, so that Pirate can steal only one shipment. And if there's magnetic storm, you launch one separately, stagger the shipment. When they're both,
if there's both, you do the magnetic storm counterplay.
Then I guess magnetic storm is more destructive than Pirate.
Yeah, much more. There's no. Yeah.
So Lee Shadow is in good position in terms of patent and becoming the good scientific HQ. However, the problem is that Lee Shadow is in debt. So Lee Shadow cannot
add an HQ behind.
Cannot fight with black market. Lee Shadow So Malonte can shut these buildings down, and by the way, they should do it. They should shut down this greenhouse farm.
Yeah, I was about to point it out. These players bought 5 claims. They've used mules. They bought goons. The only offensive items is 1 nag storm, 1 dynamite. Is this a winning strategy on the black market for 1 versus 1?
I believe not, because there is so many ways Malonte could have punished this play when Lich Shadow cannot react, cannot counter those offenses. So Lich Shadow needs money to pay down debt, to upgrade, and there are food. Before the Dustin food was making 240, and this cam has been great. This steel, Lich Shadow needs this steel for upgrading, so you can shut it down, and by shutting it down, Lich Shadow is in debt, and because they need that money to upgrade or pay down debt, when you shut this debt, they might end up spiraling out after the debt tick hits.
Yeah. So there's iron things happening. Lich Shadow, I don't know if he did this on purpose, but he bought a steel mill that's not on iron, so it's been steadily creeping up. And Malontel very, very smartly has not sold any of his excess iron. By the way, I don't think he should have kept mining this much iron. You don't need 1300 iron. But he saw an opportunity here to short it. So with the hack array, he's shorting it right now.
I like this play.
This is such a good play, and this, like, if he does this twice, he has the game already.
Yeah.
Like, he would have enough money to buy Lich Shadow out. Yes. In a really good position to use this hack array, and seems to know how to use it. I really, really like this. So, I guess the thing Lich Shadow can do is to mule iron, or if he wants to be not sneaky, you just transition your steel mills into iron mines.
Yeah, when doing this iron hack play, they should be careful. They should be looking at their opponent's base. Are they mining iron? If they are mining iron, then should I stop hacking, or should I keep having this, or should I just power surge their iron mine? And answering that question is going to be key to a successful hack.
Yeah. Neither of them claimed any carbon. I guess Lich Shadow doesn't have that big a need of it, being scientist.
And Malontel...
But that means the only carbon income in his map right now is from the solar condensers.
Yeah.
Which is not a lot.
Malontel is not making much money on world though.
Yeah, it's mostly this hack and the condensers.
Yeah, reactors. Lich Shadow is back into the debt.
Yeah,
and
I like this from Malontel. So he couldn't really hit Lich Shadow's farms because they were connected with his waters, but he realized there's only one point of failure here, so he guns it, and then he can hit the farms to his heart's content.
There is one cute play you can make in this situation when you power surge, is that you can demolish your own building that connects between you and the opponent, power surge it and rebuild it.
That would have been really sick to see. I believe we call it a lahi.
I mean,
Didn't you invent that play?
I did show that play once.
Yeah. You know, 1 versus 1 tournament against Cat, I believe. It was glorious.
Now Lich Shadow is getting into metal mine, so Malontel should keep an eye on this.
Yeah, very nice play by Malontel. He sees it. Okay, maybe I would have let the metal mines finish if I... But yeah, it's definitely more important to sell early than late.
Yeah.
So if you let him finish, then you will force him to destroy. Actually, wait, as soon as... Because, yeah, Lich Shadow didn't actually buy any iron from Malontel, so... He can just buy into it again, if he noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
at Lich Shadow, when someone sells out, you should stockpile it. Like, right now you should have a stockpile of iron from when he sold out. You should probably have a stockpile of oxygen.
Yeah, just having 100 stockpile of everything discourages this hack plays, and
yeah,
it can act as a big advantage if your opponent ends up doing those hack and buys massively into a resource and hands you money, then it might decide the game with that hack.
Yeah.
If not, you're denying their strong plays, and that is good in itself too.
Is Marlontel correct to stockpile food here?
I don't think so, because the Shadow has very strong food production, even started optimizing it. So Marlontel should sell out all of this. And very easy indicator of this, whether I should sell it out or not, is looking at the trend on the left side. And if the trend is going down or is stationary, you should probably sell it out. Or you can power surge it too.
Yeah. Okay, so my read before that 2 hacks would be enough to buy Lich Shadow was really wrong. And at this point it seems like both players are far away from the buy. And how should they deal with that? How do you win from this position?
Marlontel does have some advantage in stock price and money at hand. Oh, stock price is the same. Money at hand. But I am concerned about this silicon. Marlontel is not mining any kind of silicon, and that will make entry into electronics and glass difficult, because if you raise silicon price too high, then the Shadow can take advantage of it.
He has a solution here, I think. What do you think about this one?
There are two solutions, which...
No, he's surplusing silicon. What do you think about that?
Surplusing silicon can work, but I think I'd rather say bribe a claim by mine silicon surplus, and you can combine it with silicon if you are not in position to mine, overproduce it and sell this down. Then surplusing is a good play.
Yeah, it forces Lich Shadow to sell out his stockpile.
Yeah.
And he's also going for an off-world. Marlontel is. Wow, he's 500 food stockpile. I guess because it keeps freezing. I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah, as low.
So the launch right here is probably water.
Yeah, water will be the right launch, and because Marlontel has committed heavily into water with triple water with high, medium, and medium, water launch seems to be very natural. Although oxygen is also good, and oxygen is easy to produce right now.
Yeah.
So I like Marlontel's position here.
Yeah. So, might want to see one optimization center.
Yeah.
For the glass and electronics, and maybe one in water. Especially if you're gonna launch it.
One of these tiles can be used as an optimization center, and...
Oh. Okay, Monolith has to sell now. It forced Lich Shadow to transition his reactors into farms. So it's now making 6 food a second. 6.5.
Oh, yeah.
And Monolith has 700 food, so please sell it.
So right now,
giving away money.
Lich Shadow is also selling food fiercely, and Marlontel's money at hand is actually decreasing because this money is invested into this stockpile.
Yeah.
The value is diminishing right now.
Yeah, and you can see that there's even more UI hints than the one I pointed out before. The price is red because it's dropping so fast. So the price color changes. You see fuel is green because it's rising, and food is really red. So if you have a stockpile of something that's red, that usually means sell out, and this it should have sold out a long time ago, honestly.
That being said, Lich Shadow,
the decider.
Lich Shadow is making a minus value production from chem refineries and auto selling chem, because Lich Shadow transitioned out of a greenhouse farm, out of reactors and many more farms. And this is the only timing your magnetic storm can do some work against the teleportation scientist.
Yeah. This is good.
I mean, power surge is at 9k.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind grabbing a claim from Alonso and actually grabbing Silicon.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to surplus it forever. And maybe a second offer from Alonso. Richard had access to the free glass, but he just now decision.
Shadow is moving into second off-road at the game.
Oh, yeah, it's solid. He needs 900k to win. But yeah, I'm really feeling like Malontel is on top of this, even though this food play was kind of a blunder.
Well, the Shadow does have an open monopoly on the glass kiln and the silicon market. So I think there's a way for the Shadow to take advantage and maybe grab the win. If this remote offer market goes unpunished, there's one way. There's another way we can punish this off-road even against teleportation scientists, because you cannot teleport building drones, and dynamite being at 4.5k, Malta can easily blow this up, and to further the offense, they can combine it with magnetic storm.
Yeah. I must say though that Marnotta has a huge stock advantage from being first to move.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Really nice, long-awaited power charge, in my opinion. So making this kind of swarm thing is not putting your eggs in multiple baskets.
Yeah.
Your eggs are in 2 baskets, or 3, I guess. And this basket was really, really big.
So,
and goods are pretty cheap.
There are 2 things Malante could have done. Was
no, it doesn't.
Malante just put the goon on the middle, which will stop power surge from spreading, or when they found it and when they build resources, build buildings, they could have separated out into 2 or 3 sections so that they are not clumped together.
Yeah. And actually, take a look at Lich Shadow's base, these glass kilns. Alontel has completely ignored this, even with the silicon surpluses.
Yeah.
So all this colony money goes directly to Lich Shadow.
Colony consuming 0.8. Lich Shadow should have kept this glass price. Probably should not have auto-sold.
Yeah. So the idea is in the 1 versus 1, I guess there are holograms, but generally you kind of keep your camera in your opponent's base, right? So you will know as soon as he builds the glass kilns. So until then, it's safe to just stockpile forever and ever.
Yeah.
Unless they're like remote and you miss them, or they're hologrammed. Well, I think in the 1 versus 1, you usually know where your opponent is hologrammed, right?
Look at all the money.
Or at least, I don't know, maybe. I don't know where people put the camera. I usually have a lot more knowledge of what my opponent does in 1 versus 1 compared to FFA at least.
First dynamite on off-road came down, and it popped the goon on the Shadow's colony launch, and the Shadow put the goon back. So Melanta has to pop it once more to blow this up.
Yeah.
But you can't let this keep running. This has to be stopped. Or the glass kiln.
I don't think so. Because you don't want to... Like, there's no good goon poppers. I guess the benefit is the Lich Shadow doesn't know what to do with goons. With dynamites.
Yeah.
Successful off-world shipment. Make room for the profits.
So you targeted a geoplant instead, which is fine.
Speaking of dynamite, I think it would be great to get back into Pattern and just grip that thinking machines so that their off-road is protected.
Yeah. So I want to focus more on what you said. You said you have to dynamite this colony off-world. The colony off-world compared to a non-colony off-world is making $220 more, which is like 30. Wait, no,
30%?
Yeah. Let's say 30. It's probably not correct. It's less. Less than a third of an off-road. I don't think that's super urgent. Yeah, like this power surge on the glass probably does a lot more. And it's also undefended. Don't you think?
Yeah, both
Although,
is...
Lich Shadow is pulling ahead in money, so
Yeah.
something is definitely wrong. Yeah, this is just a scientist bonus, I think. They don't have to mine all this water. They're very claim efficient by having their faction bonus.
Yeah. At this point, the Shadow should be... There's no way the Shadow will lose.
Yeah. His Pleasure Dome is also much better because of virtual reality. Just nicer like output per tile, I guess.
The black market is online.
Yeah, it looks like Lich Shadow has this, which I guess by default means that Malontel gets the award. Yeah, we really didn't think this award through.
Yeah.
Wait, I guess unless Malontel has used it 0 times. Let's check. No, they both used it, so Malontel wins.
Make room for the profits.
Oh, apparently we should check game 2 for a Network Virus award. I'll write that in my notes and we can look it up on the replay afterwards.
Yeah.
And Lich Shadow calls offensive GG.
The Shadow takes it.